Hello and welcome to GrAI's Thoughts. My name is Gray, and this is the podcast where we dive into the minds and moments that echo across time. Today we journey to one of the harshest landscapes of World War II, the Eastern Front. It's the winter of 1943. Snow covers trenches like a burial shroud. The air is sharp with gunpowder and cold, and somewhere in that vast frozen silence sits a soldier. His name is Ivan Petrov. He's 27, from a quiet village near the Ural Mountains. Before the war, he worked the fields, helped his parents, and dreamed of love and peace. Now he's survived brutal winters, faced German tanks, and carries the weight of lost comrades. We speak to him today from the front lines, not for strategy and also not for glory, but for the quiet truths that war leaves behind. Let's start with something simple. Ivan, tell me about your home before the war came.
Spasibo, Gray. Thank you for having me. My village is small, few hundred people maybe. Tucked between forests and slow rivers, near Perm in the Urals. We have cold winters, wet springs, summers short but beautiful. I helped my father in the fields. My mother cooked for the family and the neighbors sometimes. I finished 7 years of school, enough to read, write, and work numbers. Before war, life was simple, peaceful. I dreamed of quiet fields, working with my hands and family. Maybe marry my childhood friend, Yelena. I imagined a house with a garden, children playing, life without fear.
That moment of leaving home, family, and everything familiar must have felt like stepping into a nightmare. Stalin's call to arms mobilized millions in a desperate fight to halt the German blitzkrieg. Can you take us through what it felt like physically and emotionally to leave your fields for the frozen training camp? What was it like hearing Stalin's fiery orders to never retreat, and those hurried drills with rifles you barely understood? Did they prepare you for the brutal reality of facing the Wehrmacht tanks and the Luftwaffe's bombing raids?
When the war came, everything changed in one night. Posters, loudspeakers, neighbors whispering. It was clear. We were at war. I left with a small bag and my father's coat. My mother cried, but quietly. She gave me black bread and a scarf. Training camp. It was cold, fast, and brutal. We trained with wooden rifles. Real guns came later, when someone died or was wounded. Stalin's order, not one step back. We all heard it. It echoed in our heads. We were more afraid of retreating than advancing. There were men behind us with guns too. It felt like we were not meant to survive. But still, we did. Because what choice was there? Either fight or die as a coward. And cowards, they didn't come home.
In the West, we often hear about the Wehrmacht's precision or the brutality of the Eastern Front in abstract terms. But you saw it up close. The tanks crushing trees, the skies filled with German bombers, and worse still, what they did to civilians. What did you see? How did it change you?
The first time I saw a German tank, I felt small. It was like a beast, screaming metal, smoke, fire. Trees fell like matches. But what haunted me most was not tanks. It was what they left behind. Villages burned, women with dead children in their arms, old men shot for nothing. The smell of burned homes, wood and flesh, it stays in your nose. And then you stop thinking of them as men. We called them Fritzy, like saying the bastards. Not soldiers, not people, just Fritzy. Maybe that's how we survived. You can't shoot a man if you still believe he's like you.
Earlier you mentioned your childhood friend Yelena. Do you think of her still? In quiet moments between battles or while standing guard, do thoughts of home help you hold on to something human?
Yes, I think of her. When it is quiet, sometimes too quiet. I remember the way she laughed when we picked mushrooms in the woods. I think of her hair in the sun. I don't know if she's still alive, but in my head, she is. And that thought, it keeps me warm even when everything else is ice.
Let me ask something simple. What dish did your mother make that you miss the most? What was home in a bowl or on a plate?
She made pelmeni, small dumplings with meat. We ate them with sour cream or vinegar. When there was meat, of course. She made them by hand with my sister. Sometimes we had them on New Year's. That smell, the steam, the warmth, it was love.
We've spoken about the horrors, but what about camaraderie? The men beside you, the ones who haven't made it and the ones still holding on. What kind of bond forms in that crucible?
They are my brothers. We share everything. Bread, boots, even pain. When one cries, the others pretend not to see, but they feel it too. We joke, even at the worst times. One guy, Misha, he sings songs badly just to make us angry. But it helps. You laugh or you go crazy. Some are gone now. I see their faces when I close my eyes, but I carry them with me. Always.
Ivan, when this war is over, when the snow melts and the guns fall silent, what do you hope to find? What future do you dare to dream of?
Peace. A quiet life. I want to go back to my village, build a house. Maybe Yelena is still there. Maybe not. Either way, I'll plant potatoes, chop wood, raise a child who never sees war. That is all I want.
We've just spent time in a trench, hearing the voice of Ivan Petrov, a Red Army soldier caught in the cold machinery of history, yet still holding on to warmth through memory, hope, and brotherhood. Through his words, we glimpsed what war often hides, the smell of pelmeni on New Year's, the sound of a friend singing badly to break the silence, the dreams of a home rebuilt, not for medals, but for peace. Ivan, thank you for your honesty, your strength, and for reminding us that even in war the soul does not surrender. And to you at home, thank you for listening. If this conversation moved you, please take a moment to like, subscribe, and share this episode. Leave a comment and tell us what you felt, and who you'd like to hear from next. This is GrAI's Thoughts. My name is Gray. See you in the next episode, and until then, keep listening and keep remembering.